Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's star is this Lenovo ThinkPad T430, a laptop released back in 2012 and now over a decade old. By 2025, many might well call it an antique. But for us, it remains nothing short of legendary and remarkably sturdy. Today we won't be retiring it, but instead giving it a glorious modern rebirth, because we're installing the brand new Ubuntu Cinnamon 24.04.3 LTS operating system. This is no simple installation. It is a battle against planned obsolescence. We shall harness the power of Linux to breathe new life into an aging machine. The ThinkPad T430, equipped with a third-generation Intel Core i-series processor and capable of 8 GB or 16 GB memory upgrades, proves the perfect test subject. Why Ubuntu Cinnamon? Because it seamlessly combines the rock-solid stability and long-term support of Ubuntu 24.04 LTS with the elegant, lightweight, and exceptionally familiar Cinnamon desktop environment. We seek a modern aesthetic paired with classic, robust performance. Before commencing the installation, let us ensure all necessary items are at hand. Consider this our pre-flight checklist. First, your ThinkPad T430. Ensure it is fully charged, or ideally remain plugged into the mains throughout the process. Second, a USB drive with at least 8 GB capacity. This will serve as our installation medium. Third, a reliable internet connection. We shall require this to download the Ubuntu Cinnamon ISO file. Fourth, download the ISO and create a bootable USB on another computer. Finally, if your ThinkPad T430 hard drive contains any important data, back it up immediately. Once you have all these items ready, we can proceed to the next step. Our first step is to obtain the Ubuntu Cinnamon ISO file. This step requires a functional computer with an internet connection. Open your web browser, search for Ubuntu Cinnamon on Google, and visit the Ubuntu Cinnamon official website. On the Ubuntu Cinnamon official website, navigate to the Download section. The first entry listed is 24.04.3, which is also the officially recommended version suitable for most users. Click the Download button below to proceed to the download page. Ensure you select the 64-bit desktop edition. This is crucial. For faster download speeds, you may also choose the download method best suited to your circumstances to obtain the image. During the download process, we need to prepare a tool to burn the Ubuntu Cinnamon ISO file onto a USB drive, making it bootable. I habitually use Balena Etcher. It is cross-platform, free, and extremely easy to use. Please download and install Etcher on your current computer. After downloading the Ubuntu Cinnamon ISO file and installing Etcher, insert your USB drive. Launch Etcher, select the downloaded Ubuntu Cinnamon ISO file, then choose your USB drive as the target device. Please double-check that you have selected the correct drive. Choosing the wrong one could erase important data from other drives. Click Flash and let Etcher work its magic. This process may take several minutes, depending on your USB drive speed. Upon completion, you will receive a confirmation message. Do not format the USB drive afterwards, simply eject it safely. Once the bootable USB is ready, we insert it into the ThinkPad T430. Switch on the ThinkPad T430 and immediately press the F1 key repeatedly to enter the BIOS utility settings. Within the BIOS, navigate to the Restart section. Set OS optimized defaults to enabled and press Enter to confirm. First, press F9 to restore default settings. Then, press F10 to save and exit. The ThinkPad T430 will now restart. When the Lenovo boot screen reappears, press F12 to enter the boot menu. In the boot menu, select to boot from USB HDD and press Enter. Now we have arrived at the GRUB boot menu for Ubuntu Cinnamon. Within the Ubuntu Cinnamon boot menu, we may select our preferred boot method. Typically, the first default option will suffice. Select Try or Install Ubuntu Cinnamon and press Enter to confirm. Your ThinkPad T430 laptop will now load the fully functional Ubuntu Cinnamon live desktop environment directly from your USB drive without accessing your built-in hard drive. On this ThinkPad T430, loading the Ubuntu Cinnamon desktop environment took approximately 1 minute. We now arrive at Ubuntu Cinnamon's live desktop environment, which runs entirely from your USB drive. Rest assured, nothing is installed onto your hard drive yet. This live environment allows you to test Ubuntu Cinnamon and verify everything functions correctly before proceeding with installation. Feel free to click around, open applications, and test or try out the operating system's various features without installing anything. You can access existing drives within the live environment. If you haven't cleared your data, you may copy any necessary files, though you should have backed them up already. This is a crucial step before a formal installation, allowing you to verify that all ThinkPad T430 hardware functions correctly, such as Wi-Fi sound, screen resolution, keyboard, USB ports, touchpad, and other components. It provides an opportunity to identify any compatibility issues prior to installation. Ensure Ubuntu Cinnamon is compatible with your ThinkPad T430 hardware before proceeding with installation. If everything checks out, we can proceed with the installation. On the Ubuntu Cinnamon Live desktop, you'll notice an icon labeled Install Ubuntu Cinnamon. Double-click it to launch the installer. The Ubuntu Cinnamon installer is graphical. While not the flashiest, it's robust and guides you through the process in a very user-friendly manner. It will walk you step by step through the entire installation. Step 1 is to set the language. The default setting is usually suitable for your language, but you may change it here according to your needs. Then click Next. Step 2 involves configuring accessibility features for Ubuntu Cinnamon. Before setting up, you may customize Ubuntu Cinnamon according to your requirements. Subsequent adjustments can be made within System Settings. We proceed directly by clicking Next. Step 3 involves setting the keyboard layout. You may test your keyboard within the provided text box. Step 4 concerns network connection settings. I selected not to use a network connection to perform an offline installation. Step 5 involves selecting the installation method with two options available. The first is an interactive installation, suitable for users who wish to be guided through the process step by step. The second is an automated installation, intended for advanced users possessing an auto-install YAM file, enabling consistent and repeatable system configuration. Here, we shall choose the interactive installation and click Next. Step 6 involves selecting the desktop environment. With two options available, the minimal version and the fully featured Ubuntu Cinnamon desktop environment, I selected the fully featured Ubuntu Cinnamon desktop environment. Step 7 involves optimizing computer settings. Ubuntu Cinnamon does not include any proprietary software by default. Installing additional software may enhance your computer's performance. Here, we tick the box to install third-party graphics and Wi-Fi hardware drivers, then click Next. Step 8 concerns disk partitioning. This is now the most crucial step and where most new users feel apprehensive. Please pay close attention. We have three primary options. The first is to install alongside the previous operating system. The second is erase disk and install Ubuntu Cinnamon. And the third is manual installation. As we are performing a clean install on this ThinkPad T430, we select erase disk and install Ubuntu Cinnamon. Within advanced options, we may also choose the disk format and whether to encrypt it, select according to your requirements. Then press OK to confirm, followed by Next to proceed. Step 9 is to create your account. Enter your name, your computer name, your username, and your password. For added security, I recommend ticking the option Require Password to log in. Then click Next to continue. Step 10 is to set your time zone. Here you can configure your clock and time zone by clicking a location on the map to select your region. Then click Next to proceed. Step 11 is to confirm your selections. The installer will display a summary of your settings. Please review everything one last time. If you notice any errors, you can return and make changes. If everything looks correct, click Install. The installation process will now commence. During this period, the installer will copy files, install the system, and configure all settings. You will observe a progress bar alongside slides showcasing Ubuntu Cinnamon features and usage tips. This provides an excellent opportunity to pass the time while gaining further insight into your new operating system. It is also a prime moment to witness the magic unfold. Upon completion, a message will appear confirming Ubuntu Cinnamon is now installed and ready for immediate use. You may either reboot to finalize the installation or proceed to test it. We shall click Reboot now to complete the installation. During the reboot, once the screen turns black, it is crucial to remove your USB installation media. This prevents your ThinkPad T430 from attempting to boot from the USB again. Your ThinkPad T430 will now restart. This time, it will boot directly into your freshly installed Ubuntu Cinnamon. Boom! Welcome to Ubuntu Cinnamon 24.04.3 LTS. After a brief wait, we're greeted by the elegant and visually appealing Cinnamon desktop. Let's dive straight in and make some simple adjustments. I feel the desktop colors are a bit dark. I need a lighter theme. I'll see how to set it up. First step, open the menu, find System Settings, locate Themes, and open it. Let's see what color options are available in the application settings. The default is Yaru Cinnamon Dark. Let's see how Yaru Cinnamon looks. Not bad, that's what I wanted. We'll also change the icon's theme color to Yaru Cinnamon. It maintains a consistent style, so that's the one we'll go with. Now let's change the desktop theme. The system default is also Yaru Cinnamon Dark, so we'll switch to Yaru Cinnamon to see how it looks. Not bad at all. That'll do. Right-click on the desktop, select Change Desktop Background, and take a look at the wallpapers included with the system. Try switching to an Ubuntu Cinnamon logo wallpaper. It looks rather good. While we're at it, let's see what other wallpapers come pre-installed with the system. Next, we shall check for updates. Although the Ubuntu Cinnamon ISO is the latest version, new security patches and software updates are constantly released, and we require a fully patched system. Typically, we can check for updates via the software updater or the terminal. This time, we shall use the terminal to perform this task. It is both powerful and swift. You may launch it by clicking the terminal icon or using the shortcut Ctrl-Alt-T. First, type sudo apt update and press enter. You will be prompted for your password. This command refreshes the list of available packages. The system will then prompt you to enter apt list upgradable to view available upgrades. Next, type sudo apt get dist upgrade and press enter. This displays a list of all upgradable packages. Press Y for yes to proceed with the upgrade. This ensures you possess all the latest security patches and software updates, representing a crucial first step in maintaining security and stability. The ThinkPad T430 was renowned for its high-capacity battery. How might we manage power in modern Ubuntu Cinnamon? We shall examine power settings and install TLP, a robust Linux power optimization tool. Its installation proves straightforward. Enter sudo apt get install telp rdw in the terminal, then execute sudo telp start to activate it. Next, we open Software Updater to check whether any additional drivers require installation. Finally, we open Software Updater to review the updates. It prompts us that the computer requires restarting to complete the installation. We now click Restart Now to reboot the computer. Right then, the process of installing Ubuntu Cinnamon on the ThinkPad T430 concludes here. A question lingers in everyone's mind. Can this 13-year-old machine still serve as a daily driver in 2025? Our answer is yes, but it requires a fresh, lightweight operating system, Ubuntu Cinnamon 24.04.3 LTS. You may well have further queries. Why the ThinkPad T430 paired with Ubuntu Cinnamon? Why not plain Ubuntu? Why not another distribution? My answer is this: it's all about performance, stability, and the aesthetically pleasing yet familiar Cinnamon desktop environment. Next, let us begin with the specifications of the ThinkPad T430. When first launched, the T430 was not particularly powerful, but it was undoubtedly a dependable workhorse. What configuration shall we focus on today? The standard configuration for the ThinkPad T430 typically comprises an Intel Core, a i5-3320M processor, 4 GB of DDR3 memory, and an older mechanical hard drive. To breathe new life into it, I undertook several crucial and indispensable upgrades. First and foremost is the solid-state drive. If you're running Linux on an older machine, upgrading to an SSD is undoubtedly the best enhancement you can make. It transforms performance from frustratingly sluggish to delightfully smooth. Additionally, my ThinkPad T430 now boasts 8 GB of memory, with support for upgrading to a maximum of 16 GB of DDR3 RAM. Next is the build quality of the ThinkPad T430. ThinkPad keyboards are legendary. Typing on it feels absolutely fantastic. But what about the ports? Here, the T430 still delivers excellently. Quite so. USB 3.0 mini DisplayPort VGA, it has all the ports you could need. The machine is admittedly a bit bulky, but it's built to last. This thing is designed for the long haul. The ThinkPad T430's hardware provides the perfect platform for lightweight, modern open-source operating systems. Now let's discuss the software. Why choose Ubuntu Cinnamon? It is a relatively new official release of Ubuntu, and we are currently using version 24.04.3 LTS, which was just released in August 2025. This means we will receive long-term support and all the latest fixes. The key term here is Cinnamon. This desktop environment bears the closest resemblance to Linux Mint. It offers a traditional, familiar, and efficient desktop experience. Even users transitioning from Windows or older Mac systems will find it immediately intuitive. We specifically selected this desktop environment for the ThinkPad T430 because it is more lightweight than the default GNOME desktop found on standard Ubuntu systems, yet retains a stylish appearance and full functionality. It strikes the perfect balance. Moreover, we observed that the installation process proceeded exceptionally smoothly. It recognized the Intel integrated graphics, Wi-Fi, and touchpad, all functional out of the box. This exemplifies the appeal of running Linux on well-supported hardware like the ThinkPad. It works straight out of the box. Now let us turn to everyday usage. We shall examine three key areas: productivity, media consumption, and light development. First, regarding efficiency gains, we refer to browsing the web with multiple tabs, running the LibreOffice suite, and managing emails. Frankly, the ThinkPad T430 performs superbly. With 8 GB of RAM, it effortlessly handles 10 to 12 Firefox tabs, a word processor, and a music player simultaneously without any noticeable lag. Cinnamon's low resource consumption truly shines here. This laptop feels nothing like a machine from 13 years ago. What about media consumption? Can it handle modern streaming services? 4K video might be a stretch, but what about 1080p? It handles 1080p playback smoothly on YouTube or Netflix. The integrated Intel HD graphics 4000s is sufficient for decoding. The T430's screen resolution is typically 1366 by 768 or 1600 by 900, so 1080p is actually a bit excessive, but it plays beautifully on an external monitor. Finally, lightweight development. Consider VS Code, Git, and running a basic local web server. The Core i5 processor shows its age here, yet its performance remains entirely adequate. Compiling large projects will be slower, but it excels at scripting, programming exercises, and even lightweight Python development. For students or secondary programming users, the ThinkPad T430 is an ideal machine. Next, let's discuss the interesting part: customization. The Cinnamon desktop environment is remarkably flexible. We can spend some time adding desktop applets and themes to give it a more contemporary look, akin to a blend of Windows 10 and classic Mac OS. Its modular design is a significant advantage. How about battery life? We're using an older machine. Even with a new battery, does the Linux system enhance or hinder battery longevity? Linux generally handles power management well, but the T430's architecture is quite power-hungry compared to modern chips. Using a refurbished 9-cell battery, we achieved roughly 3 to 4 hours of stable usage. While not spectacular, it's quite respectable for a machine of this vintage. We've now reached the final segment, and this video is drawing to a close. So, returning to our initial key question, will a ThinkPad T430 running Ubuntu Cinnamon 24.04.3 LTS still serve as a reliable daily driver in 2025? My final verdict is yes, but with some important caveats. It won't handle competitive gaming or intensive video editing, but for 90% of everyday tasks most people perform, it delivers superbly. Browsing the web, watching videos, handling documents, writing simple code, it handles all these smoothly and reliably. It serves admirably as a backup machine, student notebook, or dedicated writing tool. As for the price, a refurbished T430 costs roughly $100 to $150. Add a solid-state drive and memory for another $50 to $100, and you'll have a powerful machine for under $250 total. This represents exceptional value for money. You're acquiring a robust, easily serviceable machine that embraces the principle of extending hardware lifespan, highly beneficial for the environment. Linux stands as the ultimate tool against planned obsolescence. Therefore, should you possess an old T430, T420, or similar machine gathering dust in a cupboard, our recommendation is unequivocal: install Ubuntu Cinnamon 24.04.3 LTS and put it back into service. Have you installed Linux on a ThinkPad T430 laptop? Have you installed Ubuntu Cinnamon on an older laptop? Please share your experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check the show notes for the Ubuntu Cinnamon download link. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Goodbye for now.